Then Alistair told me that I should let him be my pimp. And I was like, wait, what? On the day of Alistair's prom, he blocked me on Instagram because I liked 2 of his photos in a row. He smelled like mail and postage stamps. I know that's weird, but don't we all like the smell of something weird? I tweeted something, and then he was like, what? I thought it was us versus everybody. He said, man, Pinky is still rocking with me even though I did and said some messed up stuff to her.
You are watching a massacre at work.
Hello everybody, and welcome to part 2 of my crazy story about my last high school love. I know you guys have been waiting a whole week to see the conclusion of this crazy story, but the video is finally posted. If you're excited about hearing the rest of the story, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And if you have subscribed, turn on my notifications. If you haven't seen part 1, you might want to do that before you watch this video, because part 2 will make so much more sense. Without further ado, let's hop back into this story. My last high school love was the 9th guy that I had ever fallen in love with in my life. To protect people's identities, I will refer to him as Alistair. I got into some drama with Alistair on Twitter one night. It all started when I liked a tweet made by this girl who didn't go to our school, who I will call Tracy, that said, I miss Alistair. Then Tracy made a tweet about me and it said,
there's this fan who favorites my tweets about Alistair.
Alistair asked her which tweets. Then she said all in general, which was a lie. Then Alistair asked what the person's @name was, and she said my Twitter name. Alistair was like,
oh my gosh, she goes to my school. She's a stalker. She loves me and knows I don't like her.
For the record, I was not in love with him at that point. Then Tracy was like,
I'm about to make her mad. Hold up.
And then Tracy asked me,
do you like my boo, Alistair?
And I was like, yes. Then I deleted the tweet. That was so stupid of me. Then she quoted the tweet and said RMAO and mentioned Alistair. Then Alistair mentioned me in the tweet telling me to leave him alone. He tells me that every day, that he doesn't like me, that I'm a stalker, and that I need to let his nuts breathe. Then Tracy tweeted me telling me to leave Alistair alone, that he's not worried about me. I didn't tweet Tracy or Alistair back after that. Then Alistair started subtweeting about me, talking about how sometimes he just wanted to punch me in the face and yell, leave me alone. How I should go cry in a corner and cut myself, and how it's bad enough that he has classes with me. How it's not cool to have stalkers, and how I stare at him for 10 minutes straight in class. I didn't stare at him that much. He was just exaggerating. Tracy also subtweeted me. I remember her making a tweet that said, B-word you ain't, about me. Then Alistair, 2 of his homeboys, and Tracy started talking about the drama a little bit on Twitter. Then Alistair's homeboy who went to school with us made a tweet saying, I thought this was a 3rd period thing. Nah, this is an everywhere thing. Regarding me bothering Alistair. I thought that was a little funny. You would think that I was crying throughout all of this drama, but no sir, not a single tear. Then Alistair tweeted that the next day when we have class, he's not going to show my man Ray looking behind any mercy. The next day in chemistry class, I left Alistair alone mostly. I didn't want him to take the situation to the office, get me in trouble, and have my mom called by the dean of discipline. I remember when he tried to say something to me, I told him don't talk to me. But we did exchange a few words in class that day. He brought up how I tweeted how I have good hunting skills and how I should join the FBI. You know, since I found out that he was apparently talking to Tracy. He also brought up one of my tweets that had nothing to do with the drama. So he was looking at my tweets too after all this junk arose. The situation blew over and he didn't tell on me. That summer, Alistair got into a relationship with Tracy, the girl from Twitter. Then we got into a little bit of Twitter drama again. I don't remember how it started, but I think it has to do with me liking some of Alistair's tweets again. What was wrong with me? I guess it led to Alistair telling me to leave him alone. Then he tweeted me some pictures of him and Tracy kissing and a picture of his neck with hickeys that Tracy gave him. He was trying to hurt my feelings. Then I tweeted him saying, I hate you right now. Then Alistair quoted the tweet and was like, re-mother effing tweet. Then a couple of people who knew me told Alistair that what he did was messed up and he shouldn't have shown me those pictures. Then another day out the summer, he started following me on Twitter again. I was so happy. Then he tweeted me. The tweet said, where's Pinky? I need a laugh. Then he tweeted me asking me if it was past my bedtime. Then I tweeted him back saying, I have no bedtime. Hashtag thug life. But then that follow turned into an unfollow less than a week later. I was very happy to go back to school on my first day of 11th grade. I got to see my friends, Alistair, and my 2 other crushes at school. Alistair and I only had one class together, and that was Spanish 3 class. We were getting along that day. We even sat by each other in class that day. One day at lunchtime, Alistair, me, and a few of his homies were standing around chilling. Then Alistair told me that I should let him be my pimp. And I was like, wait, what? No! He said that if I let him be my pimp, I would have to do him favors and that I could call him daddy. Knowing what real pimps do, I declined because of the negative stigma. Deep down, I wanted to call him daddy, but I didn't. After that, he asked me to hold his Arizona drink, and I did that. He said I could take a sip out of it, but I declined. Then, I think that he asked me to tie his shoe for him. His wish was my command. There I was again, losing myself for someone who didn't want me romantically. He was still dating Tracy at the time. Months after the Twitter drama, Tracy and I started getting along. We even started following each other on Twitter and Instagram. I did almost anything for Alistair. One time he told me that if I listened to this one song called 10K by this rapper called Lil J featuring Billionaire Black, he would be cool with me. I don't know why, but my dumb behind went home and went on YouTube and watched that music video. What was up with my brain? I haven't listened to that full song in years, but I still remember some of the lines from the song. I swear that broke make me sick. Rule number 1, never cuff up. Alistair would have some of those days where he wouldn't fool with me, but somehow we had a friendship, and sometimes he was nice to me. We took our first picture together in October 2013. It was Spirit Week in our school, and it was Throwback Day. I was wearing some light blue ripped jeans, a Letterman jacket, and a Rolling Stones shirt. I immediately posted the picture to my Instagram. On the night of Halloween, our school was having a football game, and we were playing our rival school. I was a cheerleader, so I could see all the spectators on our side of the field. I was so happy to see Alistair there. He was wearing football gloves with the Detroit Lions logo on them. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he was talking to or dating one of my homegirls. She was very nice about it, and didn't put the fact that she was messing with Alistair in my face at all. I guess that Alistair and Tracy were in the middle of a breakup. And I think that from the corner of my eye, I saw Alistair kiss my homegirl on the cheek. I tried not to let it bother me because I had cheer routines to worry about. As usual, we did not beat our rival school. After the game, everyone got down from the bleachers and started walking out of the gate. In order to get out of the gate, we had to walk across the track that was surrounding the football field. I guess that Alistair told me to give him a hug. He was many feet away from me, so I chased him at least halfway around the track with my duffel bag on my shoulder. I didn't get my hug, but we just waved each other. That still made me happy though, and I went to bed happy that night. Then we took some more pictures together like a week later, like after homecoming. Then I posted those on my Instagram also. Around that time, he made a new Instagram and we started following each other. I would look at his page all of the time. And yes, I would have a picture of him as my lock screen on my cell phone, but whenever I would go home, I would change the wallpaper because I didn't want my mother to know that I liked Alistair, and she probably would have asked who that was on my phone. But then, when I'd go back to school, I'd change the picture back. Alistair was flattered by that. One day, we exchanged phone numbers. He only texted me like 2 or 3 times. The first time, he texted me saying, hey, and lots of kisses and love emojis. The second time, he asked me what I was doing. The third time, he said, good morning and have a good day. Winter break 2013 was kind of a good time because we were getting along again. On Instagram, I gave him a To Be Honest video, and here it is.
To be honest, you're one of my favorite bros. I think that you're brilliant, and I do admit that sometimes I can be annoying or creepy. I do apologize for being annoying, and I'm gonna miss you next school year.
He ended up liking the video. Sometimes he would like my pictures. Back in those days, people would post a picture saying, like 5 photos for a good morning post. Well, he would participate in those, and that would just make my day. I would screenshot whenever he would like or comment on any of my pictures. We even played a few rounds of Fun Run. You know that game where you had the little characters or whatever, you guys would race or whatever? I guess around the beginning of 2014 is when I could truly say that I was in love with him. One time, I was looking at a picture of him, and I thought he was so handsome that I wanted to cry. I just had to have him. Still, nothing romantic happened between us. I knew that he thought that I was ugly, because he referred to me as ugly on Twitter to one of his homies that night of the Twitter drama. That night, he also told his homie that I would never be his boo. Regardless, some people at our school shipped us as a couple. Like, they thought that we were cute together. And so did I. I appreciated the shipping, and I was flattered by it. I liked it when he visited my physical education class during his free period. We would sometimes chill with each other after the class got done doing exercises, since the class took place outside and the teacher was cool. One day, me, some other students, and Alistair were just chilling in the PE class and talking with the teacher, and it was almost time for class to end. And I remember Alistair walked away, and I got sad. I was slouching with my head down, sitting on the bench holding my bag, and the teacher was all like, "Smile, he'll be back." Even the teacher knew that I liked Alistair. And yes, a whole bunch of people in the school knew that I liked Alistair. I didn't go around and tell them, they just found out. Just from me acting all foolish around him, or word got out that I liked him. Alistair got a few tattoos during his senior year. During my PE class, he was showing some of his homies my tattoos. He saw that I was nearby and played around and said, "I got Pinky's name tattooed on me." And then I was like, "No you didn't, because you don't give a crap about me." There's just one tattoo that he had on his chest. One day in Spanish class, around the time when the tattoo was still pretty new, his tattoo was itching, so he basically pulled his shirt up and was like gently like rubbing on the tattoo, doing all this. Because if he scratched it, the tattoo would peel. You already know that I was looking at him. Being the silly person that I was, I licked my lips while looking at him, messing with his tattoo. And Alistair noticed. He attended another school sports game that I was cheering at. They were the championship basketball games against our rival school, the boys game and the girls game. It took place on a Saturday, like it was like around the end of February in 2014. When I saw him there, I was so happy. I was like, yeah, this is a good day. Yeah, I'm already excited about cheering at the game. Like the game was gonna be on TV. Like I was already excited. I was already optimistic about that day. And I remember when the first game was about to start, the cheer team and I were doing the hello cheer, and we were doing the cheer, and we were starting to do the cheer, and Alistair stood up. He was like, "Ooh, yeah, yeah." He was being silly. He was like he was happy to see me cheer or whatever. He's like, "Yeah," like, "Ooh, yeah." He put his arms up like that. He was funny. He's so funny. Like Alistair was funny. Like I don't know. I know I said this already, but Alistair is a funny person. And then after the game was over, we hugged each other. And then just went on about our day. Like that made my day. That was a good day to me back then. And there was this other day. I guess it was around May or something. I don't know. I guess April or May. Yeah, April or May. Alistair tweeted saying that he needed a date for prom. Then one of his classmates tweeted him and suggested that he should take me. Then Alistair told her, "F you." Then the girl tweeted me saying that Alistair is mean. And I told her, he just has standards. And she was like, "That's why he doesn't have a date." And I was like, "You're right." Since she was like, "I'm going to try and get him to take you." And then I told her that that would really annoy him and that Alistair would think that I was behind the plan and he would start avoiding me again. I guess Alistair and I were getting along at this point in time. When the girl was like, "Okay," but I would have loved to go to prom with him, and he just wasn't having it. In the end, Alistair did not have a prom date. I know you guys are thinking, why didn't he take Tracy? Well, after dating on and off like 3 times, they were broken up for good in like winter or spring 2014. On the day of Alistair's prom, he blocked me on Instagram because I liked 2 of his photos in a row after almost 6 months of following each other. How did I find out that he blocked me? I had that followers app so I could see whenever people unfollowed me, and the app showed me that I was blocked. I wanted to go see him on the day of his graduation, but unfortunately my mom said that I could not go. After she said no, I didn't speak to her for the rest of the day. Like, I was upset. On the second day of my senior year, Alistair showed up to my school unexpectedly. I had just walked outside for lunch and he just showed up. I forgot why he was there, but I was just happy to see him. That made my day. I missed him so much. He was somewhat happy to see me. I guess we hugged each other. Nothing really happened between Alistair and I, because he graduated from high school. We weren't going to school anymore, and he didn't really make an effort to stay in contact with me. So nothing really happened. I was focused on other people while being focused on Alistair. The very last time that I saw Alistair in person was on Wednesday, May 20th, 2015. He came up to the school to talk to the college counselor about some things. I was working in the front office during the first period since I didn't have a class. First period had just ended, and my homegirl, the same one who talked to or dated Alistair back in fall 2013, passed by the office and said to me, "Pinky, your mans is here." And I was like, "What?" I exited the office and saw Alistair pass me by. I was shocked. He was looking fresh too. White tee, basketball shorts, baseball cap, fashion glasses, backpack. I can't remember if he was wearing Vans or Air Force Ones on his feet. I got upset when he didn't say anything to me when we passed each other by. I remember complaining about it to my schoolmates in my second period class, creative writing. I remember one of my bros talking mess about Alistair, saying that he had dusty swag. Of course I stood up for Alistair, even though he wasn't in the room. Another person talked about him not having a life, or something related to that. I told them that he had a job. But things turned around after that. During passing period, I went to see Alistair. My voice and hands were like low-key shaking when I greeted him because I was so happy to see him. We hugged and took a few pictures together. I thought that he smelled so good. He wasn't wearing a cologne, but he had a nice smell to him. He smelled like mail and postage stamps. I know that's weird, but don't we all like the smell of something weird? Then I went to my history class. Happy as heck. I was a few minutes late, but the teacher was cool and wasn't tripping. I immediately made the new picture of Alistair and I my wallpaper on my cell phone. Then at lunchtime, Alistair and I chilled with my squad. My squad members were talking about how me and Alistair should go to prom together. I guess that the deadline for sending in forms for prom dates who didn't go to the school had already passed, and it was too late. So we couldn't go to prom together. And after lunch, I think that he walked me to my 5th period class. Man, I was so happy that day. Then Alistair and I spent a little bit of time with each other and talked during the last class period of the day. 6th period. I wasn't ditching class, that was my second free period of the school day. Then once again, he was playing around and talking about how I was his girlfriend for the day. We were sitting in the office with 2 of my classmates who also didn't have a 6th period class, and he was basically fake claiming me. I liked that, even though it was fake. I introduced him to my favorite teacher who was in the office on the computer. My high school secretary asked me if Alistair and I dated while we went to the school, since we were so close and hanging out that day. That day was a half day of school for us, and he stuck around almost the whole day. Before he left the campus after school, we hugged one last time. I was sad to see him go. I watched him as he walked off of the campus as I waited for my ride. Him visiting the school made my day. When I went home, I went on Snapchat and I posted videos of myself lip syncing and singing various songs because I was in such a good mood. I still loved Alistair after I graduated from high school. One time he tweeted one of the pictures that we took together with the caption, "For ILU more than this." That warmed my heart, but eventually he deleted it. I had tweet notifications on so I could see all of his tweets. I would watch his Periscope broadcasts, which were posted to Twitter, and he had no idea. In December 2015, another homegirl of mine who I went to school with basically started like a little hashtag saying, "You know you went to blah 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 high school if," and she tweeted, "You know you went to blah 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 high school if you remember Pinky being in love with Alistair." And somehow Alistair saw the tweet or whatever, and then he started tweeting about me. He said, "Man, Pinky is still rocking with me even though I did and said some messed up stuff to her." And then someone else said, "And she's still rocking for you." Yep, I still had feelings for him at that time, so yep, I was still rocking with him. Then Alistair mentioned me on Twitter. He tweeted, "ILU more than this. You smart, you loyal, you a genius." He stole that from DJ Khaled. I didn't know that at the time, but I thought it was like a compliment. I was like, oh, he thinks I'm smart and loyal and a genius. Of course, I retweeted that tweet. I liked the tweet. I took a screenshot. And then the homegirl who started that little hashtag said, "Alistair and Pinky are blah, blah, blah high school's most likely to get married couple." And it's funny because we were never a couple. She said that we were the most likely to get married. Girl. And I think Alistair was like, "Yeah, that's bae," talking about me. He was like, "Yeah, that's bae. Let him know." I wasn't feeding into it. I thought it was funny, but I wasn't agreeing. I knew that he still didn't have feelings for me. I forgot. I tweeted something, and then he was like, what? I thought it was us versus everybody. But that made my night. Those little Twitter mentions made my night. I missed Alistair, so it was nice, to get in contact with him a little bit. There's this other occasion where Alistair tweeted how I was more loyal to him than other females. Yep. Even though I would annoy the mess out of him, I was still loyal to him, even though we didn't have a relationship or anything or commitment. Unfortunately, I was still a stalker. I would constantly check his Twitter, checking to see if he was talking to other females, and I have not talked to Alistair on Twitter since 2016. And we still follow each other up to this day. I think the last time he mentioned me on Twitter was when I tweeted, I miss Oomph. And he was like, oh, I miss you too. And I was like, I'm not talking about you. And he was like, I just wanted to be annoying this morning. So some time passed, and in June 2017, I stopped having feelings for Alistair. I turned 20 years old, started a brand new job, and did some maturing. And I realized that nothing would happen between Alistair and I asked myself, why should I just keep torturing myself by having feelings for him and worrying about what he's doing with who? Plus, during all the time that we were away from each other, I would think about him less and less. I bet you guys are thinking, wow, Pinky, look at this self-growth. We are so proud of you. Nah, the thing that caused me to forget about Alistair was me catching feelings for this dude at my job. My very first workplace crush. But I will talk about that story down the road in the future. Stay tuned. I just know you guys want to hear about that story. But in all seriousness though, I wish that I could see Alistair face to face and apologize to everything that I did. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me back in high school. Man, at least I'm not like that anymore. But in conclusion, Alistair was the next Raymond, but much worse. We were never in a relationship, but we put each other through a lot. Even though I don't have feelings for Alistair anymore, I will always care for him and always value our friendship. I hope you guys enjoyed this crazy story time, but I also hope that you guys learned something. Now here's a little bit of advice for you youngsters watching this video. Whenever you have a crush and they don't like you, don't harass them. Just be humble. Just treat them normal. Respect them, you feel me? Give them space. Respect their space, because harassment is a terrible thing, man. Stalking is a terrible thing, If you stalk someone or harass someone, you can get into some serious trouble. You can get into trouble with the police. You can get suspended from school, kicked out of school. You can lose your job. Yeah, so basically if you have a crush on someone, play it cool. And if they don't like you, I understand that it's disappointing, but you just need to respect them. Just respect them. Just give them their space. And here's another tip. If you're in high school, be sure to pass your classes the first time so you will not have to repeat a class and get put in a class with someone as crazy as I was. Okay? So that's the story. If you guys enjoyed this crazy story time, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And if you have subscribed, turn on my notifications. I have a few other story times on my channel. I have the story time about my first kiss. I have a story time about my first love. So if you want to look at those story times, I think I'll put the playlist at the end screen of this video so you can watch them. Guys, help me reach 1,000 subscribers on my road to 1K, you feel me? Yeah, I'm really trying to get paid for making YouTube videos. I love doing YouTube. I would love to get paid for doing something else that I love. Yeah, hit that subscribe button. If you guys keep on subscribing, I'm going to be posting, well, even though I post mostly reaction videos, I'm going to be posting some more non-reaction videos. Of course, I'm going to post a story time about my first workplace crush. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but just subscribe to see what I have in store. Okay? Okay. And follow me on social media. Follow me on Twitter at ILUMoreThanThis. Follow me on Instagram and add me on Snapchat, Pinky-Bots. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!